Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to the second part, if you will, of our Metallica discography. So, for those not in the know about what the hell is going on, allow me to fill you in. So, on Christmas Day of this year, I plan on putting a little bow on our time with Metallica, even though we've kind of been with these guys since the very beginning of my time on YouTube, all the way back in 2018. But in order to bring things full circle, I plan on releasing a video on Christmas Day called Every Metallica Song Ranked from Worst to Best, which is around about 120 songs to my knowledge, and believe it or not, we only have 110 now left to go, because we've just completed our time, probably our final time with Kill 'Em All. Now we move on to Ride the Lightning, which there were some things about Kill 'Em All that maybe gave me a little bit of a hard time, mostly because there were some things that I forgot how good they were, and there were some things that I was coming back to and they probably maybe not as good as I remembered. Not bad, it's just I may have had slightly different feelings way back when. But if that was a difficult precedence to start off with, moving on to Ride the Lightning is probably going to be a little harder. Releasing almost exactly 12 months after Kill 'Em All, and these guys were only just starting to immerse their life into their 20s. But again, this one is also going to give me quite a lot of trouble, because I think in terms of on average, Ride the Lightning has the best songs that Metallica ever did, just in terms of quality over quantity. With maybe the exception of one. I'll be right back. Oh, damn it. Hello. Anyway. So yes, there is only one exception to Ride the Lightning, and that is, well, the song Escape. Yeah, I'm not going to beat around the bush, but Escape is probably going to be quite low on the list. I still think it's probably within maybe the top 100 best Metallica songs. However, if I put it any higher than that, I think it's probably a little bit too high, considering that competition already. Because what I actually did is that I prepared a tier list already of every Metallica song, and there's a part of me deep down inside where, guess what, trying to shuffle things around, because we are going to be shuffling some things around as we go through this, because the only real way to judge these sorts of things is to have them as fresh in my mind as I can, hence why we're here. And also, 120 songs, how exactly are we going to be able to do it? Well, I plan on doing 60 songs here in May, like the first 60 songs of Metallica's entire toy cupboard. And then in October, I'm going to do the other 60. That's probably the best. So it basically means for 2 whole months, you get nothing but Metallica back to back to back. And we're already going to start off with something relatively powerful, because even though way back when, I must admit, I didn't exactly have I'm not too sure exactly if I had the best things to say about Fight Fire with Fire, but on more listens, I've actually mellowed out, or have sort of kind of accepted it for what it is, and well, maybe third time's the charm. So let's get to work, shall we? I mean, to be fair, I'm just happy to come back to this. This is maybe, with the exception of Master of Puppets, it's still probably their best album. But let's go. Here we go. Ooh. Used to die. With fire, fight fire, 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 with fire. Oh, the sound of death and destruction raining all around, and guess what? That was okay. I think yes. It's funny how we have really come full circle with the song in terms of I'm gonna admit I must say it's. Is it the? I think it. Listen. Okay, so. Is it technically like the best opening to a Metallica album of them all? I think maybe. Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, I do. I think it is literally the best opening because if we were to compare this to the other ones, I don't think it's particularly close because Hit the Lights was awesome. Battery is awesome. Blackened is also awesome. Well, you see, the thing with Enter Sandman, okay, that's where we might have a little bit of an interesting discussion. What do you guys reckon is the better opening? Fight Fire with Fire or Enter Sandman? Because, that's a tricky one if you ask me. But with everything else, Ain't My Bitch, no. Fuel, no. Frantic, no. That was just your life. I think it's up there, but I don't think it's better. And then, well, Hardwired is the one I probably have the least amount of experience with, so it's hard really to say. And then 72 Seasons is also really good, but okay, so so as I mentioned before, previously I had already done like a tier list where I ranked every Metallica song, and this one is going to prove, this is going to be a little bit of an interesting one, because I think for the first time since we've done this, I'm actually going to leave the placement for Fight Fire with Fire exactly where it is. So, for reference, I think Fight Fire with Fire is better than 72 Seasons, but I think it's just behind Enter Sandman. And if those sound very particular, it's because I do think Fight Fire with Fire is well up there. And what you'll start to notice a small pattern emerging once we get into some of the really heavy hitters. But yeah, in terms of placement, I'm perfectly satisfied with where Fight Fire with Fire is, and I think that's just about going to do it. So, but mind you, with that being said, when I say that Ride the Lightning has the best on average, oh, you better believe I was telling the truth. But with that being said, I'll see all of you guys again next time. Thank you.